In this video, I'm going to show you how I turned a piece of ordinary automotive seatbelt into a handy storage solution. Okay, so the first part that I'm going to do with this, I've taken all seatbelt, like you can see over here. Now I've marked the seatbelt in two lengths of just over 1/2 meter each length, like this. Now to cut this, you can either use a scissor and simply cut it off, and then maybe only heat the end so that the franz doesn't go all over the place and just get destroyed or disconnected or ruffle out. Or like in my case, you can take a blade like this, you can heat it up in a flame or a candle, any heat source basically that you've got, and once you've got a heated flame like this, you can simply cut the seatbelt off with a heated blade like that, and that would mean that, let's give it one more slice through, heat up the blade once again like this, give it one more cut, and as you are cutting it, there's the one piece, and then for the other piece, let's heat up the blade again. Now, like with the first piece that I cut, I did realize that it helps if you put a bit of strain on the belt towards either end, so it wants to pull apart as you're cutting it, or cutting and melting the end at the same time. Now, another way to do this, if you don't want to heat a knife with a flame like this, what you can also do is basically use a soldering iron with a blade attached to the point, to the front of the soldering iron, which would work just as great. And you can just heat it up, and as the soldering iron is keeping the tip heated, you can cut through the material with the greatest of ease, while also securing the strands and making sure that they don't come loose and destroying the strap. And what I also notice is, don't cut too fast. The blade is pretty hot, just cut a little bit slower. And if you cut a little bit slower, it does come apart quite easier. So that is basically it. So here's a part of the seatbelt that's left. Here's the 2.5 meter lengths that I have cut. So let's go on to the next step. Alrighty, so for the next part, I'm taking one of the straps. I'm putting it together, the 2 points like this, making a loop. What I then take is I take a fairly big washer. That's more or less the size that can cover a good area of the strap in the width. I've also taken a self-tapping screw like this with a fairly big head that can fit inside the screw or the washer quite nice. I then simply enter it through the strap like this. You can pinch a little hole into the strap beforehand with something sharp, and then I'm simply taking the strap with the screw like this, and with a drill or a screwdriver, whichever you've got or you prefer to use, attaching it to my wall like this. In my case, this is a wooden backboard. You can use this with obviously mason screws if you want to put this against a normal brick wall. Whatever type of screw you need for whatever type of wall you've got to your disposal. And there I've put both straps on the wall like that, hanging two nice loops. And so what can you put into these things? Well, there are quite a number of options. You can use this as a nice temporary storage for a hammer, something to hang like that. You can put a baseball bat, something long in there if you wish. If you do not have a baseball bat or anything like that, instead of a baseball in your garage, you can put some tools back in there. Like I've got a power bar over there. You can put a long ruler or a measuring stick in there as well. And this is all nice and snug out of the way. In my case, even behind a little door like this with some bottles and some extra parts inside it. If you do not want to use these straps, they can be tucked out of the way like this, neatly. And in my case, I can close this door and everything will still be neatly put away. If you don't want to do that, what you can also do is take a piece of wood like this. You put it into the straps like this, and you've instantly got a little shelf, depending on how straight you put it. Now you can put whatever on this shelf. You can put cans on there, whichever you prefer, depending on the height that you've put this. It is very sturdy. This won't come down at all. If that is too small for you, you can always use, depending on the situation that you're in, you can use a bigger plank like this. Whatever will fit the size of the strap that you've put up. If you want to put even a bigger shelf or something bigger, you can always just make the straps a bit longer. like this bigger shelf. Now once again I can put a lot of items on this shelf and it won't go anywhere. Quite solid and steady and can take a good amount of weight. Nice temporary shelf and something to put away a lot of things. And once you're done and you don't want to use this anymore, or you don't need the space, you can simply take out your shelf, your temporary shelf or wood or whatever you stored in there, and you can leave them hanging for whatever you've got. Now this is quite strong since this is a seat belt. You can, for instance, if you put this against your wall, you can hang your trimmers in here, your weed eaters, all those type of gardening equipment, a spade, a gardening fork, all those type of things can easily be stored in there because that can take a lot of weight. And once again, if not needed, it can be tucked away behind something like this or just hang there neatly out of the way, not bothering anything. So if you do like this idea, be sure to like the video. And also, if you like this project along with the other ones that I've made, be sure to subscribe and also leave a comment in the section below to tell me what you think about this. If you do like any of my projects and you think that I did help you, be sure to have a look at the super thanks icon down below, and that will also support my channel. So until next time, thank you very much, guys.